Good evening and welcome to another scene in Requiem, the City of Martyrs. Tonight we have a scene in the local watering hole is probably not the best way to describe it, but for certain very special people it is. But yeah, the Magician's Knob is a bar or pub that is frequented by stranger clientele than most places. We start our scene as two clanmates, if I'm not mistaken, are currently within the pub and drinking, chatting, plotting, who knows?
All of the above.
All of the above, fair enough. As Emily, reluctantly have decided or come to the conclusion that she has to be a little bit more social is probably a stretch, but out in the city and meet other people, which is interesting. So yeah, Emily will just walk in and she's wearing her normal baggy clothing, like not giving away too much, a hoodie, and she comes in and she just looks around at the many creatures, for lack of a better term, sitting on the chairs, chatting some alien languages, and it's very weird. And she just takes a moment to get comfortable. She feels something. She recognizes it. Her beast is poked at. There's something near her, something she recognizes, something maybe not similar to her, but close enough to her that she recognizes when another kindred is nearby. She stiffens up a bit, and she just kind of just quickly looks around, and then she will walk straight past the two of you and just look around. She can't, whether she's distracted or didn't see you, you can't tell, but she just looks around a little bit more, and then she just sits down. The barkeep was just about to ask her if she needed anything to drink, but she ignored it and just sat down and just. You're not quite certain. Maybe she's looking at you too. Who knows?
Have you seen that woman before, Sasha?
Yes. I believe that's Emily. She was with the sheriff and another, I believe, another gangrel, another Deva. Sorry.
Okay. So, you've met this lady before then?
Only once, but yes. And he'll think, Emily, I believe her name is.
Well, seeing as the only other kindred I've met so far have been us, why don't you go over and you introduce us to them? It'd be nice to speak to some other blood.
And he'll get up and go towards Emily. Emily, how good it is to see you sit. Oh, go ahead.
She just gets up. It's not as much like getting up to greet someone. It's like she shoots to her feet, and she's just like, "Oh, right, Mr. O'Connor."
Oh, Bannon.
I'm sorry. Hi. Yeah, it's good evening and good to meet you. Yes.
No need to be so tense.
Right. Yeah, of course.
If any trouble comes up here, it's quickly taken care of. They don't even
No,
have time to judge you.
like, there's no need for trouble. Not at all.
Why
Please,
don't you?
sit down, she says, kind of unsure. Well,
Well, I'm a friend. I was going to ask you if you'd care to join us.
oh, sure, she says. And she just begins to walk with you over and just looks at the other guy and just, you, this is your, is this a person we know?
A friend of mine. Very charming. You'll see.
Right. Okay. And she
And,
just, this
yep.
tall woman. No, she's like, she's the standard height of a man, so she is a bit taller, but it's not like 2 feet or like 6, 7 feet. She's just a little bit taller than normal women, and just goes over and just sticks a hand out. It's a little too blunt and a little too like she almost sticks it in your face, but not really.
Well, and Aidan will take a hand and shake it. You seem a little uptight there. Don't worry, just calm down, especially here.
Oh, right. And you can see that she shoots a blick over to like just a short look over to some sort of fish person, like something strange creature. And she just looks over at it quickly and just looks at her. Yeah, there's no reason to be. Yeah, relax. That's yeah. And she kind of sits down. Just so you're new to the city as well?
Yes, I'm new, fresh off the boat, so to speak. How long have you been here for? Seeing as there haven't much kindred in London at all for the past 10 years.
Oh, not long. I just arrived myself on business.
Everyone's here on some kind of business.
Yeah, they are.
Well, like I was saying, you shouldn't be too worried in this place. Even though we've got our beasts jumping at each other, we should be fine. If anything did happen, well, let's just say Ashford, who runs this place, is pretty much God here. He can do what he wants. And I don't like the look of that fucking dragon on the front, just above the door either. So, this may not be a Kindred Elysium, but it's the best we've got.
Right. I sure. What? She looks at you. Have you been to like an Elysium?
Yes.
Like so it's not that different from this?
Well, it's Kindred only, but essentially, there are certain rules, you do's and do nots. You play nice. You don't use disciplines on each other. It's just a safe zone, so to speak. Somewhere you can talk, somewhere you can actually do politics, somewhere where you can do business and not worry about being drained dry by your own kind.
Right. Yeah. That sounds really like a relaxed atmosphere.
Well, it's as relaxed as you can get with us.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. She looks between the two of you and she just wait. You remember the sheriff?
Yeah,
He
I remember her.
wants to talk with you as soon as possible, by the way. I should pass the word along to you.
And he'll nod.
What is the sheriff like? I've not had a chance to meet him yet.
He's good. He's well, he seems professional, but a bit old school. I don't know if he's older or something, but it seems a little. She kind of shrugs. I don't know. He seems all right. Like fairly business minded, and want things in proper order and stuff. But yeah, look, yeah.
And if there's no prince, who does the sheriff represent?
You can tell that Emily just. It's not like she's blindsided by that question, but she does. You can tell that she just. It's almost like she's biting her lip, although she doesn't. She just says, "Well, at least it's a start, right?" He wants to make sure that no one. Well, with so many new people coming in, he wants to make sure that no one screws up and does something that we're all going to have to deal with.
That is understandable, but still. But, well.
I know what it, like, people, like, I've heard it before, like, the sheriff without a prince is worthless. And I would still say, like, if someone comes and, begins to make breaches and begin to expose us to the humans, well, you need someone to tell people to knock it off and clean up messes. And, well, you need a sheriff for that. That's just my take.
Well, that is true to a point, but most of these things are the mask with, well, just hiding from the kind. It's mainly common sense. And if there was a kindred that was going around doing something stupid, I'm pretty sure the other kindred would put an end to it pretty quickly.
I'm sure. I hope so. But I don't see the problem really. But she kind of just shrugs again.
Well, this London as it is a bit strange at the moment, but kindred are creatures of habit, and this is just a little bit untoward, shall we say, compared to what usually happens.
There's a pause from Emily. She just looks at you, like, what in your experience, what normally happens?
Well, everyone has their place and everybody knows their place. Right now in London, there are no places except for the sheriff.
Yeah, and the club, like Emil club. That is, I think that's a place of business for him. So that's like his place.
Okay, well, that's his place then. Good for him.
Oh, so there are two places, but yeah.
But please forgive me, sorry, Emily, but you seem... This isn't a question you ask a lady, but how old are you?
She becomes a little bit more nervous. She's just not that old.
Well, let's say this. How long have you not been breathing for?
She does calculations in her head. A couple of years.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I'm sure you're still getting used to things, but you'll get used to it in time.
Well, it's right. There's a lot of things to take in, but it's not only what people think that might be the problem. It's some other things as well, but never mind.
We all have our own problems. But, you know, there's some things that unify all kindred together. Have you seen any of your family die of old age yet?
One of her eyebrows just goes fairly much to the top of her head, almost, or as much as it can. It just looks at you. Isn't that kind of an impossibility?
Well, it's going to happen if you're going to survive, if you bother keeping in contact with them, or even if you bother stalking them from the shadows. But to be honest, if you have got family, it's best to leave them alone. All they're going to do is make you feel hungry, and then you feel guilty the next night after.
No, but you said our kind dying of old age. Isn't that impossible?
I meant your kind as in your kind, if you've got any living, breathing family left.
Her eyes narrow for a moment or two. You can see quite a bit of that nervousness just seems to, for a couple of seconds, just swept away by something else as her eyes narrow and she just looks straight ahead. She moves her head from you and just looks at the bar and just for a moment and she just says, "No, I don't. That's not a problem."
Oh, well, to be honest, that should make things easier for you in the long run. But here's another question for you. Have you actually killed anybody yet? When feeding or otherwise?
She doesn't answer you. She just looks at you. What kind of question? Of course I have. What? Never mind.
Well, no, you'd be quite surprised how long you can get away without doing it. How long you can feed off people before the beast takes over. And you just take a little bit too much. But it's like riding a motorbike in the city. Eventually you're going to get hit by a car. It's going to happen.
I'm actually going to roll something in the roller. I'm going to roll something. All right. She just says, "Oh, that's not something you have to worry about me, okay? I can manage on my own."
No, fine. That's good to hear. Sorry, maybe I'm prying a bit too much, but
Yeah, you are.
well, then I'll take a step back then. But
And it's almost like as you begin to show as you say stepping off, she just says, "Right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap at you. Sorry." It's almost like it begins to come again, this nervousness that it seemed to fade a bit there, but it seems to be back now for some reason.
Jesus Christ, Emily, just calm down a little bit. Look, just sit down, get something from the bar. I mean, we could all make ourselves drink for a little while. We have to puke it up later, but still, just breathe deeply.
What?
Drink a shot of vodka or something. But
Alcohol? No, thanks. No, thanks.
no, you don't have to drink alcohol. You can get pretty much anything you want from this bar. I've already had the first drink for free.
Yeah, I have.
What did you choose?
Oh, I got some of the best blood I've ever tasted.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? I kind of lost control and made not a fool out of myself, but I kind of licked the glass dry.
Well, I I suppose I can understand that. You know, given the like, I'm not saying you're a slob or anything. I'm just, I'm yeah. Sorry about that. She just shakes her head a little bit. You can see that she's probably thinking, "Damn it," in her head. She doesn't say it, but she does seem to just shake her head a little bit. But I'm not thirsty right now.
Oh, well, that's good. But so, if you're in London, it's like, what do you do for a living, so to speak? You must be keeping up some kind of facade of this living life that we're pretending to do.
Oh, I do some stuff. It's really I work at a well, like I did a lot of uh, I was at like I had a scholarship when I was studying, but kind of got sidetracked. But I have been like physically active for most of my life, so I work at a night shift at a gym that's open 24 hours a day.
Oh, that's good. That's a good job, and that's a good cover too.
Yeah, I mean it's like there needs to be people there and during the night, so that works.
Do many people actually work out during the night? It seems a bit of an odd time to do press-ups.
Well, there's more than you'd think.
And if you don't mind me asking, what were you studying?
Oh, physiotherapy, like helping people with injuries when they've hurt themselves in sports. It's uh, and she just thinks for a couple of seconds. Like sports physiotherapy,
Okay.
something like it was a whole thing up north.
No, I can't say I'm an expert on it, but I have heard about it before.
Oh yeah, it was it was well, and she seems to just trail off. She doesn't really comment anymore on it.
And you said you've always been physically active. What have you done? Just sport or just...
Different things.
Fair enough. Yeah. I was always one for books myself, but my father being my father taught me how to fight, and so I pretty much had to learn to fight so he wouldn't keep beating the shit out of me all the time. So that kept me physically active for most of my young life.
I wonder if he hit harder or weaker than my dad, but oh well.
Well, my father's long gone, so we won't be able to get our dads to fight each other.
That's a shame. And she clearly does not think that's a shame. That's fairly apparent in her tone.
Well, family, eh? You can't live with them, you can't live without them.
I suppose. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are lucky it was just your father. It was based around fighting.
Yeah. And that's why sometimes I wonder how you're still so fucking pretty. You should have a face like a fucking cauliflower by now.
I have maybe I'll like point to the claws that are in the middle of his face. I do have that.
That was quite recently, I think. But I'm just saying, most people I know from your background have got cauliflower ears, broken noses. It's like, you seem to have done pretty well.
Yeah, knew how to defend myself.
Well, that's honestly boxing. There's lots of ways to, fight someone without necessarily ever having to get hit. And more or less, as soon as she said that, she just, well, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, his bugs.
But I mean, I guess if you're a boxer, you can't really do anything than just hit each other until someone falls down, I suppose.
You are allowed to duck it. Duck and weave.
I don't know. From my experience with actual fighting, it tends to be two people fight, it ends up on the floor, and then the person with the most friends ends up stamping on the person that hasn't got as many friends.
I see. Well, that's. I'm guessing you're talking mostly barroom brawls and something?
Not just any kind of fights, really. Usually people that start something on by themselves. And you never get on the ground. Once you're on the floor, you're done.
That might be. Maybe.
Well, I mean, what were you then? Are you some kind of fucking wrestler if you're so against punching?
Not. No, it's just like there's a lot of. There's a lot of talk in the. Like, there's some people who train in the gym that they talk all the time. You can tell that is bullshit. Like she auto fails. Like she's terrible at lying. You can tell that is utter bullshit.
Oh, well, what did these people at the gym say then? If they're so fucking wise?
Well, it's like I'm surprised like how many of like people who are fighters like they're not bigger than they are. Like you'd think like the people who would be hitting would just be like boxers and fighters would be like these giant guys, but they spend a lot of their time just doing like cardio and well, like own body weight and a lot of cardio. Stamina seems to be more of a thing than raw strength, but and they seem to emphasize it a lot, like who can go the farthest, who can run the longest period of time, stuff like that. But I don't know.
Well, that's nothing new. If you go back 100 years or so, all the boxers were stick thin. They'd fight about 20 rounds and go to work in the mines the next morning. It took a lot of stamina to do that.
Go to work at like, is that something you saw?
Maybe. Things were a little different when I was breathing.
I see. Okay. Right. And she just kind of nods and just says, "Okay." Back in the day, right? Sure. Again, she seems awfully. Either she's well, that it's I guess that's to your own evaluation of the situation. She seems either she's expecting someone to jump like attack her anytime, or she's just very uncomfortable for some reason. But yeah, she's not enjoying this. That's fairly certain.
Look, Emily, if you don't want to stay and talk to us, you can go. You don't
No,
exactly think.
no. That's no. It's just um no. Look. I enjoy company and all, but it's just like I'm not like I'm just a little worried that I'm like I'm insulting you or something. So I'm a little,
Listen,
I always I always tend to say the wrong thing at the wrong time. So it kind of makes me nervous when I'm meeting people of our kind because it could be a little, you know.
don't worry. Let's just. If you were insulting me, I'd let you know you were insulting me. So just calm down a little bit there. And look, you're doing fine. Just stop looking like you're a mouse being hunted by a cat, for Christ's sake.
Right. Relax. Okay, she just blinks a couple of times. She just like, okay. So yeah, okay, I can do that. Yeah.
Is it, if it, I intruded a little bit before, but have you been around Kindred that much? It seems like this is all pretty new to you, even though you said that you've been, well, one of us for about a few years now.
It's a lot to take in, and this is like some of the first. Yeah.
Oh well, so you could be doing worse, and well, whatever reason you're in London for, well, at least you're somewhere where you can try and cut your own piece of the pie now. In most other places, the cities are so set in with kindred that are so old, it would take you 100 or more years to get anywhere. I think that's the reason why this place is now being flooded with kindred.
I suppose, but it's not only my own volition; it's also my sire's wish.
Oh well, it always comes back to your side, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Did your sire come with you? If I dare ask.
I think he's somewhere here in London. Yes.
And could I ask your sire's name, or would you rather be kept quiet?
I do. Well, um, and she looks. Well, if it is even possible, well, a bit, maybe a little bit more reluctant. But she just says, the name I know him is like the Wolf.
Okay.
And just FYI, you would know that the Wolf is a very old gangrel that is fairly well connected and has not been known to sire like hardly any kindred. It's
Okay.
very, very, very rare that he does it.
So is he quite an infamous kindred within kind of like the British Isles then?
Kind of. And that just makes this, I mean, like, as feared and as, like, potentially that much of a danger he is. Like, this makes some of the things happening here a little bit more weird. Like, this quivering, nervous person, first of all, she's claiming to be childer of this guy, which is rare. But you would think that anyone associated with him would not be taking shit from anyone and just be fairly cool. And she does not seem cool in any way when it comes to, well, what's been going on here. So that might seem a little odd.
Did you say your sire was called the Wolf?
Yes, yes.
I think I might. Is he? Is he a really old gangrel?
Uh, uh, yes. Yeah, well,
So you're gang.
I'm Gangrel. But can I ask you guys like what's like your clan?
I'm a Daver.
Oh, okay.
And that's a lie, by the way, if you want to see through it.
Well, might as well try this. All the 2 or 3 dice she has, she does not have a lot to this for obvious reasons.
This would be a contested roll, wouldn't it? So it would be my.
So what do we roll the dice on?
Manipulation and subterfuge against whatever you have. So
Wits, empathy.
Yeah, no, but I mean, what do we use to roll the dice?
we've got. Could you?
I
Peter,
will
could
just
you?
share in the
could you-
chat the thing
Yes.
that I was given right there.
If you link us, that'd be great.
I think it's wits alertness, right? Or wits empathy for me, right?
I assume it would be. I mean, it's definitely going to be. Yeah, I'd say yeah. I'll go along with that. It's going to be manipulation. So basically, I'm going to roll 4 dice. I don't know how to roll dice on this.
Hashtag you just right. Actually, I will just. This is for like if you put in this, it will roll 3 separate.
Okay, cool. I got you. Thank you very much.
If you just type in hashtag roll, I think it rolls like you just get one number, which is all your rolls put together. So if you say repeat 3, then what dice you're rolling, you'll roll however many dice you have, and then you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. In other systems, you only need to see the combined.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, that's pretty good too. So.
And it tends to explode, so you need to roll 2
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Bear with me a second.
And I need to roll 1 more. Never mind.
Oh, bugger.
Like the hashtag, I think you can just like.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
No, just put arrow upward, and then it will show the last message you sent. And you can just edit that one instead of writing it all out again.
Okay, wait a second. No, wait a second. We're getting there. Hum a nice little tune. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
You are clearly a Deva.
Well, I could try and prove it to you and try and make you like me even more with one of our little tricks, but I don't think Ash would appreciate it. Or you.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, that's the thing that's the thing you'll learn, is that it is extremely impolite to use your powers on other members of your own kind, even if they're not your own clan. Once you do that, the gloves are off, so to speak.
That I've heard a thing or two about.
And
we don't want, and he'll look to Aiden. We don't want any of us to be turned into a frog now, do we?
oh no, definitely not. Is the frog still on the fucking bar, or is it gone now? How long ago was it?
I think 2 days ago, he said it'd be 5 days, so it's probably he's going to get rid of him today or something, I think.
Oh,
Or is he?
could have already got rid of it by now. I can't see it. Jar of a frog in it. Have you heard about this, Emmett?
I don't think so.
Last time we came in here, there was a frog with fangs in a jar on the bar. It was a kindred that pissed off Ashwood.
Really?
Yeah. That's what you get for breaking the rules. And what did it do? Didn't he try and do something towards you? Oh, Bannon,
Tried to jump me.
he jumped you.
Wanted to know more things about me, wanted to touch me. Said no, got pissed off, jumped me, became a frog. That fucking simple. And he'll smile.
Do you know this guy, this person's name?
She was. It was a she. She was a Cappadocian. Can't remember her name right now.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
No, is she? Because I can't remember her name.
Oh, well. I can't say I've had much truck with Cappadocians. I haven't met that many, but I knew the frog had a little bit of a unhealthy tinge to it. So, if you forgive me for asking, with your sire, I mean, this may be going through stereotypes, but the Gangrel don't seem to be that chummy with their childer, if you get to know what I mean. I mean, did he stick around and teach you a few things, or was it just kind of embrace and run?
Well, he had quite a few things he had me do. It's a long story. I really shouldn't be talking about it.
Well then, I don't want to get you in trouble with your sire, especially if it's the fucking wolf, but, well, it's like, sometimes having a bit of distance can be good. With my sire, he means well enough, but, well, he doesn't shut up, to be honest, so I'm quite glad to get away from him occasionally.
Oh, okay. So he's like, is he kind of like a person who just likes to hear himself talk, or is it good advice, or what?
He's a good teacher and it's good advice, although he's getting quite old now, so he does seem to forget things, but he always makes sense in the end. You have to decipher it a little bit sometimes.
I thought we were a lot different from, the kind than that. I didn't think we get, like, we don't change, right?
I think you kind of do. Have you heard of torpor before?
I've heard it mentioned, I think.
That's when you sleep. That's when your body, the beast, just needs to rest and you just go into oblivion for a few years. Could be a few years. Could be 10 years. I've heard of people being away for about 100.
Oh,
I know that changes you once you've done that. And you will have to do that eventually if you want to live. Well, survive. Live's not really the word, is it?
I suppose not. I suppose not. Like,
And if you want to get, well, start thinking about it. I mean, we are where we are, but we were originally human. And we're only really meant to last for a certain amount of time. Could you imagine being around for like 500 years or more. That would change you.
I
Hell, you probably
suppose
wouldn't want to speak to
I
half the people you ever met.
suppose I'll find out.
Maybe. Although, to be honest, it doesn't seem most kindred last that long.
Right.
Well,
She seems.
Josiah being one of the exceptions.
Yeah, he's fairly strong-willed.
Well, you have his blood, so maybe some of that's gone on to you.
Maybe.
And Aiden is just looking at you, and he's looking at you thinking, okay, I've heard of this wolf. I've never met this wolf. I've heard of this wolf, and this has got quite an infamous reputation. And he's just, yeah, he's looking at you quizzically for a while, and he's basically just thinking, what a strange gangrel. You don't really, obviously, people don't often go to stereotypes, but you don't seem the most gangrel of the gangrels, to be honest.
Does he say that?
Yeah, if I'm doing a very wavy Northern Irish accent, that means I'm in character.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. Right. Uh, well, as I said before, I've had very limited contact with people of my own clan and people in general, so I don't really know. Again, she just kind of semi shrugs. She just maybe I don't know.
Contact is one thing, but it's what's inside you. It's your beast and it's your blood. That's what makes you what you are. If you're a gangrel, it's in your fucking veins. And it will come out. You won't be able to stop it.
That I've heard quite a few times now.
No. It can be quite scary for us, but it's usually best to run with the experience. Well, don't lose yourself to the beast, because then nothing good will come of that.
I don't see a difference between the two.
Oh, you can run with the beast without losing yourself to the beast. What you gonna do? Live in denial all your own life?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure yet, but I have experienced some things that were. It got close. And, well, it's. I suppose it's different for all of us, right? Given blood and all, like how it feels.
Well, we are different clans, but the blood seems to do what the blood wants to do. Have you noticed how London feels different? Different from other places?
Yeah.
It feels kind of cleaner, kind of fresher. There's less malice in the air.
Yeah. Also, it's not every part of the city where the night is just exactly welcoming to us.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What did you say?
And she said, yeah, and it's not every place in this city where the night is welcoming to us.
Okay.
She just comes with that comment She just.
Well, that may be. Well, apart from the moon burning my fucking face every time I go outside, which is a bit strange, I'll give you that.
That's what I'm talking about. She
Yeah.
just.
But generally, on the whole, I think the city feels better because we haven't been in it. The blood, the curse, it doesn't just stay in you. It it seeps out around you. It soaks into the ground. It soaks into the kind that live around you. It affects everything. And now we're back, and London's going to change again. And whatever's got rid of the fucking kindred is going to want to get rid of us.
Unless we get rid of them first, right?
Yeah, but no one knows what the fuck they are.
Well, some people are trying to look into that, and I'm actually one of them.
Oh, really? Are you a
Yeah.
little detective with the sheriff? What do you call a sheriff? Sheriff? Is that a deputy?
She looks at you. Not really. I just, as we just spoke about, don't want to join the people who died here 10 years ago. Therefore, I want to find out as much as I can about what happened in this city. And I found a place that just might hold some answers.
Really? What kind of place would that be?
Well, it was called the Shunt Club. It was a Carthaginian place, I think.
I've heard of it. There's a few places around here that everyone's been talking about. And that's one of them. Yeah, apparently it was a Carthian stronghold before it all turned tits up.
I'm looking into that place. Maybe you and your friend here should, you know, look into some of the other places. Just a suggestion. I mean,
Oh well, perhaps we should. But if you do go anywhere, especially if it's associated with what happened, be careful.
that's one of the few things I'm good at.
Well, you do seem spooked all the time. So if something's coming up on you, I'm sure you'll fucking see it.
Thanks. So, I take it you're not interested in helping out.
Helping out in what way? You want me to hold your hand and go into the tunnels?
No. Do you have like I know some people are have certain, influence or can make people do certain things.
Yes.
I might need a distraction since that place is under surveillance. Nothing
Okay.
major. I have a few ideas, but don't really have the means to organize like a impromptu rave or something that will give the people standing at the entrances enough to see to, so one or two people can slip in, which would be the optimal. Then no one dies; they just get annoyed. We get in, look around, and then we leave.
Okay.
Could be interesting. As he
Like
looks
if someone
creative.
could arrange a sizable enough distraction of some kind, or maybe even like I think it's a private security firm. So if someone could distract those security guards by maybe, I don't know, someone getting hired for a night shift, one of us, like that could help. Like whatever. That's like I have a couple of ideas, but whatever the case, whatever could be done, like I don't think it would take that much. However,
Or
the question is, If there's anything down there that might be dangerous, that I don't know. But those guards watching it, they don't like. They're not carrying any weapons other than like pacification stuff, like pepper spray, stuff like that.
Well, you could just make the guards disappear.
Yeah, whoever is watching that place might be the same people who wants us gone. So alerting them by like disappearing people is probably not our first and best move.
Well, people go missing all the time. And I've heard that basically the police dredge enough bodies at the Thames, so it works at about one a week.
I would like to avoid any raising of suspicion when this place is regarded, but hey, if I need it, I'll call you. If she just kind of thinks for a couple of seconds, just maybe how do I if needed, how do I get in contact with you?
Look, listen, you must have a fucking phone or something.
Yeah, do you have a phone number? She just picks up her smartphone.
Yeah, just pass it over and I'll put it in your contacts.
She does so.
Yeah, does it, puts it in contacts, just puts it down at Aiden. Hands it back.
Okay, good. Right. Okay, but yeah. So the two of you, like, I really need to get going, but you have a great evening, and I'll see you around. And yeah, and she kind of gets up and just does a somewhat of a bow. It's just unsure exactly what etiquette dictates, but she does so, and she gets up and leaves.
She leaves the magician's knob. Aiden will just say, "Oh well then, look after yourself, little wolf. Look after yourself." She was a funny one, wasn't she?
And her smile. Interesting, isn't she?
Yeah. I know. She does seem a little bit wet behind the ears, but if she's going to start sticking her nose into where the angels and demons have been, then she's soon going to learn pretty quickly or die in the process.
And he'll nod. If we could gain her trust, though.
Well, they're all going to go in the end, and all that's going to be left is going to be us anyway, so why not use them while we can?
And he'll smile that, well, us and maybe the ones we can use.
No. That's nothing new to Kindred Society anyway. Is a little nephew. And on that note, I'm going to go out hunting before the sun comes up. So I'll bid you adieu too. Have a good night.
Yeah, good idea. I think I'll go do the same. And he'll stand up too.
I'll see you soon.
And as the two banshees get out to get their
Dava!
What are you talking about?
Obviously. The scene will come to a close. Thank you very much, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. Good night.